needed to see some action to end that promo. Welcome to the Pin Down, the Sports Illustrated Pro Wrestling Show. I am Kent Brown, a.k.a. CM Punk, joined by Chery, a.k.a. the Dead Man, the Undertaker. We are in full Halloween gear. We're ready to go, and we're going to go right to the first count, and that is the crazy teaser / promo that we saw this week, Gene, where it was ultimately Triple H, joined by Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes in Vegas playing some poker. They teased this up like it might have been a return. However, it was just a promo with those four, Paul Heyman, and of course, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H himself. Gene, what did you think about this teaser? What did you think about the promo? And of course, a lot of the backlash that I thought was self-deserved.
Hey, man, WWE, man, they just never fail to put themselves in the corner sometimes, right? We love the product, man. That's why we are fans. We're probably never going to stop loving the product. But this was the biggest gaslight I've ever seen in the history of professional wrestling, man. Like, come on now. They were dropping some of the most cryptic teases at the most random times. You're seeing a drink getting poured. You're seeing footsteps happening. And for us to just find out that this was nothing but a promo. Ultimately, in the end, all WWE wanted to say was, we want your money, and we're going to take it come Vegas in 2026. And honestly, I couldn't have been more disappointed, man. Like, fans don't need this, man. We're already grasping at straws. Anything that they drop, we're trying to decipher everything that they're doing. So for it to ultimately be a promo for WrestleMania in Vegas, which we already knew, is kind of wild. And a couple more things, man. Triple H is dead center in this. Is he gonna wrestle? Is that the big surprise? If that's the big surprise, I'm all for it. If Triple H is gonna come back and wrestle at WrestleMania next year's WrestleMania, I'm all for that. If that's what's gonna happen, because he is dead center in that poster, man. And also, I found it a little surprising we didn't see any female representation in that poster. You see nothing but the heavy hitters, rightfully so. But you couldn't have put Rhea Ripley in there. I think that would have probably made it a little better. But overall, man, like, this was crazy.
Yeah, as you said, if they didn't already announce it and that's the setup they did for the announcement, then it's a home run, and therefore it works. But I have to get back to this Triple H being front and center thing. At some point, it's time to focus on the stars that are there. And unfortunately, I'd imagine Seth Rollins was certainly going to be part of this. And then now with his shoulder injury, he didn't show up. I love the Paul Heyman aspect of it, especially standing kind of closer to Brock Lesnar and CM Punk than he is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. He's been the wise man, and he's been, the voice, the advocate. He's covered 3 of those 4. Hasn't covered Cody Rhodes as a manager yet. But overall, also old school WWE, Gene, you would have had Brock Lesnar throwing somebody into the poker table, Roman Reigns spearing him, Cody Rhodes doing the crossroads, Triple H doing a pedigree or taking one. The fact that there was no physical contact at all was kind of lame. It's almost like one of those deals where, like, back in the day, like an actor like Steven Seagal, he's like, I'll be in a movie and I'll fight everyone, but I can never get hit myself. Well, then that's no point in showing up and doing it. It's almost like that's what I felt like the 4 guys who were there was doing. Hey, I'm not going to take a bump, but I'll show up, I'll put on a nice suit, and I'll drop a poker chip on the table. We needed to see some action to end that promo, because then it would have almost taken away the seriousness. Instead, as you said, it's like a serious promo with like fancy shoes walking.
I want to know what they do. I know they're playing poker, but they're like, you're telling me you're going to keep Brock Lesnar tame at a poker table? I don't want to see Brock like that. That's not how he's been advertised for the last 20 years. This dude is unleashed. So seeing Brock in a suit and just playing poker, to me, was so out of character. I know as fans, it's supposed to have, suspension of disbelief. But to me, that's a little too much, man. If you would have had Brock just bust out and start F5ing people, to me, all right, cool. I'm a little sold on it. But for this peaceful, let's just look at the camera in this, stoic fashion, to me, I thought, nah, man, that wasn't it. It didn't hit.
And also no Braun Breaker, which we feel pretty confident Braun Breaker is going to be heavily involved in the main event picture come next April. But for now, it is what it is. That's what they decided to do. It certainly got well-deserved backlash, as I said earlier. Let's now go to our 2 count. And this is a big event on Saturday night. In Salt Lake City, you have 4 matches that are all title matches. You got an Intercontinental Triple Threat. you have a WWE Women's Championship, you have the WWE Men's title, and then you have the vacant World Championship due to Rollins' injury that's CM Punk, Jey Uso. So obviously I'm dressed as Punk. You know me, I want to see him leave as champion, and this time not lose it in less than 5 minutes like he did at SummerSlam. Which match are you most excited about? And then also, what title do you think, outside the vacant title, which one's most likely to change hands?
All right, to answer your first question, I gotta be with you at this one, man. I think CM Punk, Jey Uso is the most intriguing matchup to me. CM Punk, this has been a long time coming, man, since his return. He deserves that moment of holding that title. I think those two are going to put on a great match, man. I honestly, when it first got announced that these two were going to face off, I was like, it is what it is. But these promos that these guys have been putting, they have an underrated chemistry. And I think this match is going to steal the show. I think CM Punk is going to take his rightful place on top. He's been one of the biggest draws ever since he's come back. He deserves that belt and to carry it for as long as he sees fit. This might be the last world title run of CM Punk's career, so I hope it starts this Saturday. As for which title is going to change hands, I think they're going to put the strap on Jade Cargill, man. I think after what she did to Tiffany Stratton, I think WWE is like, you know what? It's time. You've been a project for us for the last couple years. It's time to see if you can take the ball and carry it. I think it's the perfect opportunity for Jade Cargill now that she's a heel. To me, I love this new change of attitude with her, and I think she is going to not only beat Tiffany Stratton, she might beat the hell out of Tiffany Stratton come Saturday night.
Yeah, it would be good if it's a decisive, dominant win and she sets the tone as champion. I do have to go back to Jey Uso and CM Punk real quick and say, do we see a Jey Uso heel turn, though? Because I think CM Punk wins. If it's, again, I hate to say this because I was so wrong about Crown Jewel, predicting if Drew and Cody was the last match, we were going to see a title change. But if the vacant world title match is the final match, I think we see CM Punk win. And then I think we see him shake Jay's hand. And that's when Jey turns on him and says, enough of this yeet BS, enough of these crowds and everyone going like this. None of it now. I'm now ready to get that title back that I won at Mania. And I don't need anybody's support along the way. What do you think? You think Jey turns heel after?
I think he turns heel, but I don't think it happens Saturday night. I think we've already seen CM Punk get his heart broken a couple times, on that big stage. We just saw it.
It's even easier, though. I think Punk would sell it to Triple H and the bookers and go, hey, guys, I'm glad to win again, but it would be nice if I just kind of lay in the ring bloody at the end of the night, as long as I'm still
if you're saying he's going to leave him in a bloody pulp, then okay. I think I could see that easily happening. I think the way they've been building Jey has been really nice, right? Like it's been a slow cook as far as this heel turn. I think we've seen it coming for a little bit, but yeah, I think we're gonna see it happen. I just don't know if it's gonna happen Saturday night. I kind of want to see CM Punk just have that belt, have that moment, and ride off into the sunset with Jey looking disappointed. And come Monday night, the end of Monday Night Raw, we see Jey destroy CM Punk. Maybe he asks for a rematch. CM Punk gives it to him, loses again. And then Jey turns on Monday night and he says, you know what? No yeet for sure.
And then with Dom, it's Dom, Penta, Rusev. I don't think either of those are getting the strap from the IC off of Dom. Let's briefly just touch upon Cody and Drew. It is for the WWE title. We saw at Crown Jewel, they went up against each other. It's one more. And sadly, I think it's another one where maybe they're a month too late, but I thought Drew might win it last month. I don't think he wins it this month. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think he should have won it last month. I think they should have put the strap on it, but now the win is kind of like, it didn't happen. So what makes us think it's going to happen now? You know what I mean? Like, had he won at WrestlePalooza, to me, that would have been a great look for him. But now it's kind of like, I got no faith in Drew. I think he's lost too many big moments for us to take him seriously at this point. And Cody Rhodes, he's on top of the mountain. We just saw him on the WrestleMania promo. Are we really going to believe that he's about to lose to Drew McIntyre? Like, we're almost on the road to WrestleMania. I think last month would have been a perfect opportunity for him to win. Maybe even have held it until maybe Royal Rumble. But now, to me, I think Cody Rhodes is too much of a star right now for WWE to want him to lose to someone like Drew McIntyre, which is unfortunate because to me, he deserves a multiple World Heavyweight Championship run. It just hasn't shaked out the way it had to be.
Yeah, and he wasn't part of that promo. And I like what you just said. We are kind of now officially with that promo on the road to WrestleMania. And the fact that CM Punk is more than likely going to win Saturday night, that almost stamps it as the start of the road to WrestleMania, where you have Punk as one champ, you have Cody as the other champ. And then with Seth Rollins being out, that's about road to WrestleMania as we head into Survivor Series and then Royal Rumble. Let's now close with the third count. Again, it is Halloween. You are the dead man. Are you able to do the thing with the eyes where you roll your eyes back?
I can try. How'd it look?
That's a lot better than I could do.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I always got scared. I always thought I was going to get stuck like that, man. But
I can be your Paul Bear. Ooh, yeah.
Rest in peace to the legend, man.
And then CM Punk go to sleep. So, of course, I'm CM Punk. I actually went with this costume to last year's Royal Rumble. You are Gene, the Undertaker Chery in this moment. So let's now break down the scariest wrestler. When you were a kid and you put on WWF, WCW, ECW, who was that wrestler that just scared the living crap out of you? I doubt you're scared as much now as an adult, but who was that one as a kid that you were a little bit afraid of?
Oh, it's easily The Undertaker, man. I remember my dad bringing me to my first wrestling show. It was at Madison Square Garden. And I remember when he came out and I was petrified. And even after his match was done, I went to the bathroom. Like, he brought me to the bathroom. And I remember wanting to get to the bathroom and get to my seat as quickly as possible because I did not know if Undertaker was going to be around the corner waiting for me, just trying to scare the hell out of me. Like, that feeling, the mystique of the dead man is the greatest gimmick of all time. To me, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. When you hear that gong, man, like that is like holy-ish, something is about to go down. To me, there has never been a more terrifying and more iconic wrestler than The Undertaker.
You know, here's a couple for me. I thought Mankind in the mid-90s was so creepy.
That's a good one.
And so bizarre. They had him like in like basements with rats and, you know, just weird stuff. Vader was a scary guy because Vader was so big. He had that mask. He was imposing, but then he'd go off the top rope. He'd set the tone that way. Of course, there's a character like the Boogeyman that by the time he came around, I was old enough. He wasn't going to bother me, but he was bizarre. Papa Shango, back WrestleMania 8-ish, 1992, where he had The Undertaker possessed with voodoo and he had weird stuff coming out of his, you know, secreting out of his body and head. And then he showed up late to the WrestleMania 8 main event before the Ultimate Warrior came back. Papa Shango was pretty unique for sure. So those were a few to me that just kind of stood out. But you're right, in terms of just overall scariness, The Undertaker was that guy. It turned dark, but he was such a good guy for so long.
Yeah.
That I think it kind of went away. Here's another one. Jake the Snake Roberts with that snake. When he would bring Damien out and it bit Macho Man. And you can actually see like pus coming out of his arm. And there's actually a really good Jake story where he talks about how he had to bite himself prior to that. So the Macho Man proved there wasn't actual venom in there. He didn't trust him. And then he said, okay, if there's no venom, go for it. And if you watch that moment in 1991, he puts that on Macho Man and you can see him ripping the skin right out. So that's another one that stood out to me.
Yeah, man. And honorable mention, Brock Lesnar. I don't know if there's a guy that can invoke as much fear just walking around. I'll just put that in there. Let me throw Lesnar in there for a little bit.
That's a good point. If he's face to face with you, he would be the scariest guy because he means business. And that's why, to bring it full circle, that's why the promo didn't hit. Brock Lesnar's not at a poker table with three other guys and the wise man there and Triple H, where he's not putting somebody over top and spinning them into Suplex City or whatnot. So that's going to do it here. Our Halloween edition, The Undertaker and CM Punk bid you adieu. You've been watching The Pin Down.